So Terence Crawford has been stripped of his IBF welterweight title. And by the way, Terence Crawford also complained about him not receiving his WBA strap, which is very strange. But Terence Crawford has been officially stripped of his IBF title, so he's no longer undisputed at 147 pounds. Not only that, but Jaron Boots Ennis has been elevated to the new IBF welterweight champion of the world. Right? Now, in the past, there's been other fighters that's been what they would call email champs. You would call Devin Haney one. You can even say Ugas. But see, Ugas, he got the belt after the situation with the inactivity of Pacquiao, but still, nobody fought for it. It wasn't like the belt was just vacant. He didn't fight for the strap, but it was. I think that was like a weird situation with the Ugas thing, because he fought Pacquiao, but Ugas was the champion, but Pac was still a champion recess. But he fought Pacquiao, and then he beat Pacquiao, and he became the official WBA champion. I can't remember exactly how that went, but I think it went something like that. It was a little weird to me, but you got Devin Haney saying, he was given the WBC strap. Now Jaron Ennis. Now there's a lot of people that feel different ways about this. First off, let me say this: as far as there's so many things to really touch on with this. I really don't want to make this too long. I really don't, man. But this is boxing. This is the new age of boxing, bro. All right, and there's always nothing is uniform. It's not going to be one way for one boxer, and then the same for other boxers. It's always going to be one way for one boxer, and then another boxer going to get treated like this, and another boxer gets treated like that. Just the way it's going to always be, man. Favoritism is real. Buying off people is real. That's just what it is, man. Now, as far as Jaron Ennis having the belt, there's people that feel differently about that. Some people feel like he deserved it because a lot of fighters didn't want to give him a chance to fight. A lot of, pretty much he's saying, people like Errol Spence and Terence Crawford didn't fight him when Boots was supposedly had called him out. But a lot of that already been debunked and cleared up because Boots was offered a fight with Terence Crawford with the BLK Brown situation, and it didn't transpire. I guess his team was staying loyal to Al Heyman, whatever. All right, so he missed the boat with that. The Errol Spence thing, they were supposed to fight. He was the mandatory for, if not all these belts, I believe Jaron Ennis was. He didn't fight Errol Spence. I guess Errol was waiting it out and wanted to fight Terence Crawford or whatever the case may be. Nonetheless, Errol Spence guy was ass whooped. He's no longer the champion. He's not relevant anymore. Get him up out of here. Now Terence Crawford was the undisputed. Now I'm not sure why they took the belt from Terence Crawford. I'm still trying to figure out why, and if anything, why so fast, bro? Because we know in the past how many of these other boxers out here has held on to the belts for months and months and years. Jamal Charlo was one. Look how long he had the WBC belt. Canelo been ducking his mandatories for how long? He got to keep his straps. Errol Spence, I believe him too. When it came to the IBF, he was skirting his mandatory. I think a few times he did that. They supposed to be the strictest people when it comes to mandatories. But he was allowed to get away with a lot of things. And there's been other fighters too. But Terence Crawford, man, I mean, shit, he beat Errol Spence this year, July. And they yanked the fucking IBF belt from him. Now, I'm not sure why that is. I mean, the fight with Errol Spence rematch is supposed to be at 154 pounds. I think that's confirmed already at another weight class. So, if he was going to lose the belt anyway because he was moving up, right? He was supposed to. Now, every boxer don't do that. Some boxers go up in weight and still keep their belts. Or some boxers go up in weight, keep some of the belts. I.e. Jamel Charlo, who went up in weight, kept some of his belts, but he lost one of them. Terence Crawford, he's going up in weight, he just lost the IBF belt. Some boxers move up and keep all their belts. Canelo is one of them, right? Why does he get to keep all his belts when he moves up the fight, can move up and down all over the place? With Terence Crawford, he can't get to keep his belts. And look, I don't know if he's coming back down to welterweight, but because clearly he said the Boots fight does nothing for him. Boots is at 147. The Errol Spence fight rematch is at 154, so there's no other reason for Bud to come back down. So maybe that's probably why they did that. I don't know. I just still find it weird, that they just snatched it from him that fast. A little strange, man. But the worst thing that bothers me about this is just giving the belt. Like just giving it. These are belts, man. These are championship belts. That's what they're called, championship belts, bro. IBF championship belt. WBC championship belt. WBA championship belt. WBO championship belt. Keyword champion. In order to be a champion, you have to fight for a belt. Kind of like what Shakur Stevenson is about to do with Edwin De Los Santos. Devin Haney moved up to 140. Vacated the WBC belt. So the belt was vacant. And the next two people in line, top guys, they get to fight for the belt. And that person becomes a champion because they fought. They actually put their blood, sweat, and tears in to get that belt. All right? Now, I don't have a problem with it just because it happened to Jaron Ennis. I don't care who it is. It could have been Terence Crawford, whoever. I wouldn't have been okay with Terence Crawford been given a belt either. But Crawford earned those belts. He earned that WBO. He earned those 3 straps from off of Errol Spence. He became a champion by fighting for those belts. That's why the belts are there, for you to fight for them. Why can't it be like that for everybody, including Devin Haney? Somebody is a champion, they decide to either vacate on their own or they get stripped. That belt gets vacated. The next 2 dudes in line, they get to fight for that belt or whatever. Yeah. And then that person wins. He's the champion. He's the real deal champion. He's the real champion because he fought for the belt. I was listening to Bozy Ennis, and he was asked, how does he feel about the belt being, Boots being elevated instead of him fighting for it? He was like, he would rather have Boots fought for the belt, but hey, it is what it is. They took it. Now, I'm pretty sure, when these dudes are offered these belts, they can turn them down. Because, that's what, if you really, when you look at it from a pure love of the sport type person, a boxer would be like, I don't want to take that belt. I didn't fucking fight for that. I don't want that shit. I throw it in the garbage. I don't want it. I want to fight for my belt. But then now you live in the days now where everything is business now, and they know belts is leverage and belts is power. So why wouldn't they take it, right? When you look at it from that standpoint, why wouldn't any of them take it? Devin Haney, Jaron Ennis, whoever. If somebody says, hey, look, you ain't got to fight for this strap. Here you go. Why wouldn't they take it? So it's everybody's going to look at this in different ways, man. And I don't like when the belts can be given. I like for boxers to fight for their belts, dude. All right. Why couldn't it be like, why couldn't they take the belt from Bud if they were going to do it? Let Boots fight Stanley Jonas or somebody for the belt. You know what I mean? And then I mean, come on. He's going to have to fight one of these dudes eventually anyway, right? And if they want to get the belt, so why not just let it be like that in the first place? You know, this is nuts, man. This is nuts, but I don't know if Terence Crawford has an issue with it. I'm going to watch this thing closely and see if Bud tweets anything about the situation if he don't approve of it. But I do know that the WBA belt, Bud still didn't get the belt, like the actual strap. You know, I don't know. I was always under this impression, right, way back, like, you know, after a fighter wins straps off of another boxer, that fighter, the ones he's carrying, and, you know, they give it to, right there in the ring, they just turn over the belt to the other fighter. Why can't it be like that? You have one set of fucking belts, right? You have one set of belts that's in rotation. Pass them over when that, right there in the ring, when that person loses the belts, give that person the belts right there. Now, when whoever the boxer is, they retire, then they can get some kind of like replica belts made of the belts that they retired with or that they held before. But the actual belts, it should be one set of belts in rotation, and it gets passed from boxer to boxer to boxer. What the fuck is going on, dude? That's just, I mean, that's like a no-brainer to me. Very strange, man. Only thing I can think of why they don't do that is because these sanctioning bodies, for every belt that they process and make, they making more money off those belts. That's the only thing I could think of. Instead of it being one set, it makes it much more legacy worthy, right? When you have real belts that was set aside, one set of belts. Like, let's say from the inception of the welterweight division, right? There was a welterweight title for whatever sanctioning body exists back then. That same exact belt from the beginning of the welterweight division has been passed down to Terence Crawford all the way to 2023. That is something about that is so nostalgic. You know, why didn't they do it like that? You know, it's crazy. But anyway, shout out to Boots, man. Let's see what he could do. Now he got the belt. He got his first title. Now he got to defend it against somebody, whoever that is. We don't know. The goal for Boots is to become undisputed. That's according to Bozy. So we'll see, man. Is this Boots' time? Is it time for Boots? Is this Jaron Ennis season? It looked a little like Al Heyman is just looking for the next Errol Spence or the next person to latch on to. Errol Spence, they probably about to discard him and throw him in the garbage, man. So they're looking for the next best thing or who's perceived to be the next best thing, and that's probably Jaron Ennis for Al Heyman. So they gave him the belt because he's their new poster child, probably. He's the poster child in the making right now. They're grooming him to be that. Good fighter and everything, but everything isn't entirely his fault. I can't blame Jaron Ennis for everything. There has been a lot of fighters that didn't want to fight him. Keith Thurman, whole lot of these dudes, Cody Crowley. There's a lot of these dudes that has been ducking Jaron Ennis. I can't say that for Terence Crawford. I don't think it was Bud. And shout out to Easy Work Boxing. I saw his video. He think Bud should just come back and knock off Jaron Ennis. That would be kind of ill. I would love to see that now. He got his belt taken. Now let Boots go. Let Bud be on some vengeful shit and be like, look, I'm going back to 147 to get my fucking belt back just for the hell of it. Just so I can spank this dude and move back up to 154. I don't know if Bud gonna do that. Everything is a waiting game. We'll see how everything plays out with these dudes, man. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about it. This is Rebel Life Boxing. I'll catch y'all later.